think I got everything working this time. It's been a really long time since I've actually had to set things up properly. Okay, and there we go. Let's make sure my microphone's muted on my thing so I'm not hearing myself. Hello, welcome. And caps lock is on for me, and everybody can hear me typing, but that's fine. Don't like seeing this, though. I'm doing good today. It's a nice change for once. I need to zoom out a little bit so I can actually see what's going on the page, so I can actually see what's going on everywhere else as well, because if I see my capture device crashing, well, it's not going to be very good, is it? So, I know we did that stream sort of last week, bit of a downbeater. We're going to do something a little bit different this week. We're going to make it a bit more upbeat, because it's about time I came back. It's been 3 months since pretty much I did anything in this game. Which I came back the other day, really, sort of on my own, put some music on, sort of tried to do some stuff, and it looks like the world hasn't saved properly. Now, one of these is the changes I did the other day. Oh, welcome to the first one you've actually seen then. I don't do them too often because I find that I can hit the record button and talk way too much, so I end up having to cut lots of bits out, and I also find that sort of tend to drift on things that aren't really relevant to the episode that I'm making. Let's hope that the version saved to my console is the one that I'm looking for. Even though it says it's the older version, we're about to find out when I log in. And looking at the save file just from the picture alone, I think we're good. Because the fact, what you can barely make out in the screenshot is I had a go at making a train sit above our track. Which I can see it in the screenshot there, which makes a little bit of a sigh of relief for me. So yeah, here we go. Now, I didn't really have any sort of plan for this episode. I sort of wanted to kind of just bring myself back in and sort of get bits and pieces and things like that started. Because there's sort of so many projects going on in this world at once. I sort of need to get my ideas back in line again and sort of pick and choose where I want to start. So, let's wait 10 years for the game to actually load up and we'll get going. At least I actually haven't got like a Fortnite screenshot on this time for once. Okay, dokie. So you can see the sort of idea that I was going for with our train here as it loads in the background. Still not keen on the fact that I had to lower my slabs to fit wheels in. Maybe I'll have to think of something else to make that look a little bit better. Because it looks odd to me that the fact that the slabs are lower than the rest of it. But then again, without it, the carriage behind it looks like it's floating, and that looks weird just as much. So yeah, looks like the world's slowly loading in again, which is nice. And I think we are pretty much ready to go. So, the list of things that I've got written down here next to me. First of all, let's make sure I've got the right stuff on my hotbar before I can mess too much about. So I wanted to really get on with doing the pathing in this section over here at some point as well, but I found that that's kind of tedious and dull to watch. So if anybody has any ideas of what they want me to do, by all means, I'll be pretty much taking suggestions for a lot of the first hour or so of this. Because I will get sidetracked a lot. And if there's something that I can focus my mind on doing, it will probably benefit everybody because the fact that it will be a little bit more focused. But the other thing I do want to start working on is fixing the castle. Now, I made a huge mistake when building it. I'm not sure if you'll be able to spot it, but if I point it out to you when I get on the roof right here, you'll see what I'm talking about. If I look down right here, you can see the two staircases from the two front towers are exactly the same. They shouldn't be. They should be mirror images of each other. So either I have to change the one on this side, or I have to change the one on this side to correct it. I'm going to have to mirror what is inside there, and basically do it all the way down to the bottom. But that requires me to rip everything back out and start again from it, and if I make the same mistakes twice, well, that's going to be on me, really. And plus the fact, it's Halloween, we're pretty much there now. It's the 31st in like 4 days, it's the 27th today. So we're going to try and do something a little bit Halloween-y as well. I know there's things you can kind of do in this game with pumpkins and stuff, but trying to make like a pumpkin patch maybe is probably a better idea of something we could do, because this is kind of the only thing we really have in this world for pumpkins, besides the fact the farm is on the other side of the building. I'm gonna get myself stuck in here, aren't I, if I don't... yeah, okay, I'm just gonna walk out before I ruin something else. Okay, I just trampled some crops. Okay, okay. See, the other thing is actually I could do with moving all the pumpkins that are down here. That reminds me to empty this thing. Yeah, there's the problem, is having not done anything on this for so long is my worst feeling is this. How many double chests here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double chests for 3 different items. Oh, that's sugarcane. That's sugarcane. That's a lot of pumpkin. And I've got a feeling the rest of it's going to be, yeah, melon. Because melon will fill everything up. Because the fact that it doesn't... the way the farm works is it breaks it down into pieces. So obviously the pieces are going to fill the chest up so much quicker. The minecart's actually empty, but I've got a feeling it's probably sat on the hopper, which is full underneath. So either we need to empty these chests and move them into our mass storage room, which is probably the most smart thing to do. Most smart. What sort of words is that? We could probably do with moving them into the empty chests right here, which is going to be a bit tedious, but if we empty our inventory, it allows the farms to continue functioning in the background of the world, because if not, we start getting lag issues, and then everything is not good. I don't have any netherite. I wonder where all this nether stuff came from. Got bits of clay because I was over at the mesa recently trying to get some more well, it's classed as terracotta. I still call it hardened clay. I don't think there's any difference. I don't see why they renamed it. To be fair, I could just go to an anvil and rename them if they were bugging me that much. The other thing that we're quite short on is string, because I do want to get on with finishing the sails on our ship in the sky before I really start doing too much of anything else really as well. That thing has been up in the sky since about episode 30 and still only has 4 of the about 16 sails attached to it, by the fact that the sails are really, really expensive to do. And yeah, that's kind of the main reason, is they're just really expensive. Okay, so let's grab the crafting bench. Do I really need much else? If I'm going to be emptying my inventory anyway, I might as well just throw everything in here for now. I'll keep food on me. Well, nah. I could probably just grab it as I'm going past every so often. See, we've got the cocoa bean farm in here as well, which is for all the brown stuff. I don't really need any cocoa beans right now. The main priority is to fix this thing. Now, there is one of two things we could do with this stuff in here, really, because it's designed really for villagers. But the whole point of it was to set up the beacons that we were going to do. Now, do I grab the top chest first? Probably. This is going to be so much melon. I'm not even going to go and put it back into blocks, because I don't see any point of it unless I get my farmer villagers out of the iron farm. And I haven't really... If you want to... Why don't you use a sheep? Well, the problem I have with using animals in the amplified terrain is the fact that they despawn. Even if I put them into a pen, they don't last. Like, I've got the sheep farm, which I've basically had in the world right next to where my original base is. I had that thing at one point in some of the early episodes, sort of episodes 30 through about 45. It's full, but because of the way that the farm's designed, I'm not sure if it's to do with the fact that it's built around fences and the sheep clip through them, because I think that was what I was having problems with up near the area where I kind of centralized myself around that white building right there. There's sort of a fenced off area in there that I had animals in, and they kept despawning out of there as well. But then sometimes I would see them running around the world, some of the named animals. So I think the issue is with sheep and stuff clipping through fences, and then obviously if it recognizes they're not in a trapped, like a small area, they're going to despawn because it thinks they're in an area bigger than, I think it's a 20 by 20. So if we could come up with a better way of storing the sheep in this sort of farm area, maybe if we remove the fences and build something that's just a block and a half tall, even if we have to just build it out of glass or something. I'm just noticing that that is a fence block and it shouldn't be. But maybe that's a good shout, is to get some sheep back in an area and start work on that. Now, probably not... Now, if I leave the sheep down here, what are the chances that they're going to start despawning again? Provided the fact that we replace the fencing with something else, we could see how it goes. But then the other issue we're going to have is the fact that I won't be able to breed them properly without having to log in and out every 20 seconds. So if we're going to look for sheep, the first thing we're going to need is a lead. And I don't actually know where I keep leads. Are they still in the random junk chests up here? This one? This is where I wish I could search chests by typing. I'm sort of staring. If anybody can see a lead, that would really help. Actually, I know where the leads are. And first of all, let me get my inventory back, because I don't really want to be doing something else. See, Already getting sidetracked and haven't really done anything yet. Which one's which? Which one's 0 and which one's 1? 1 is the current map. Is map 0 that small one? Yes, okay. Map 0 is the really weird one, which didn't convert from the 360 too well. I say that as if the 360 was used recently. It wasn't. It was such... This is like episode 12 and 13 that map's existed since. Okay, my inventory is a mess again. Let's put that there. Those should be in there. Otherwise, I will end up losing them. And if I lose all my mending pickaxes, I'm not going to be a very happy person. So, let's go and grab our leads. They're in the chest outside the front of the castle. Let's not run through the nether portal. I have really bad habits of running through the nether portal. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, the sounds on the nether portal, I'm not really used to hearing them too much, so I sort of mute my sounds a lot. But obviously, I know when I watch the streams back and the videos, it is deafeningly loud. Not that one. There, we've got one. Could do with a couple more. And we need slime for the leads. There's a lot of gunpowder in this chest, isn't there? I don't know if I've got anywhere that I've got any more of leads. Is my redstone one in here? Do I have slime in here? Yes, I do. Okay, good. Let's just drop that back in there. You know, I can't even remember how to make a lead now. The fact that I'm on classic crafting, this is going to be amusing. Going to have to figure out how to craft these things again. I know you need sticks. Yeah, this is the downside to use the classic crafting stuff, is I'm so used to having to manually craft things. If I forget the recipe for something... Oh, well, I'm going to have to walk through the portals after saying I wouldn't do it. And there's the sound in the background. I'm going to stare at this now while I try and remember how the hell to do it. I can't. I don't know how to make a lead. User interface? I haven't changed this in so long. Right, where's lead? Nope. 4 string and 1 slime. Okay, so now I know how to do it. Settings, user interface, classic crafting. Okay, it wasn't sticks after all. I am mistaken. I really don't make these things too often. String 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just make loads and then keep them safe. I know inevitably I'm going to need these. I used to make so many of these when I was getting the llama achievement. That thing was one of the most painful achievements I've ever had to get in my life. Like, llamas just do not spawn enough, and the despawning issues I have in this world have made things so much of a problem. And actually, that is a good point. The llamas are in this area, but the reason the llamas don't despawn is because they don't push each other around the pens that they're in. Now, I've actually only got 2 in one. Oh no, there's 2 in a couple. But this is all fencing. I wonder if it's just the carpets that causes the problem. Because I've never had any horses despawn. I've never had any of these guys despawn, actually. But I've only ever had the problems with the 2 pens. The one... Oh, where did I fall to? On the stairs. Yeah, the issues I've had with the pen which is behind that building right there. And with the sheep one. See, that's the other thing, is I lost the mushroom, which we spent an entire episode trying to get, because it despawned or clipped through these blocks right here. Yeah, so we've either got to redesign these, or we've just got to dig them into a hole in the floor and stop them running around completely. Either way, we're going to figure out a way to finish that ship in the sky once and for all, because without sails on it, it isn't really a ship. And it's been sat up there for so long now. It looks kind of silly. I know I added the additional sail over there once, but it's like 90 to 100 blocks of wool every time you want to do a sail. And they're just on the small ones. We'll take a quick look at the train in just a second when we get a chance to have a look at it, because I'm still not quite 100% happy. So I see I could easily use what we have in there, make 1 sail, but then where does that leave it? We can't really use the wool for anything else. So let's have a look at our train, which is sort of a work in progress still. Let's fly up and above it, because you can get a better view standing anywhere else in this area, really. Let's just kind of chill up here. So yeah, you can kind of see it. I don't like the fact that the stone underneath it is lower. Did I finish the storage room? Which storage room are we referring to? The one that is down here? Or are we referring to the other fully automatic one, which sort of never partially got started? Because this one down here is technically complete. There's no automation to it whatsoever. It's just sort of, I needed more space. But then again, I seem to have so many chests scattered around this place. Like, there's like 13 or 14 outside the castle. I've got 2 around the left-hand side of the castle with blocks in. Yeah, it's a bit of a funny one. I sort of need another storage room again. It's a never-ending problem with this game. Is you either make one which is too big and you never fill it, or you make one which is too small and it runs out of space stupidly quickly. Like, I have all of these chests up here, and it's really awkward as well. I know you're chatting in the chat as and when you put it, but I'm replying to it as soon as I see it. It's just down to the fact that the stream's got a delay, and that's really, really strange for me because I'm sort of not used to responding in real time to people. It's a little bit weird like that. But yeah, so that one down there is technically complete. I could easily add some more into that one, but there's a lot of empty chests in there still, and yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that one. The castle, on the other hand, is another big project, which you would say is complete, except we had to still have a back wall, which is full of dirt and gravel, and we have, like, hang on, how many floors have we got in this thing now? We've got one, half, no, actually, it's technically 2 down there, so 1, 2, we're on 3, 4, and I think there's 2 above this. I think there's 2 further up, 5 and 6. No, there's 7. Yeah, there's like 7 or 8 floors in this thing. It's insane. And there's only really 1 floor, or 1/2 floor that's complete. I know the outside walls on this side aren't finished. Because if I go in here, there's still dirt and stuff and gravel. Because that's just me being really lazy. That I didn't want to mirror it onto the other side. But we need to find something to fill all these rooms with. We need something that we can use or fill them out a little bit. Because obviously in a castle, you've got specific rooms for specific jobs. But somebody brought it to my attention that it might be better to sort of design them or base them around people's support on the channel and things like that to encourage it. And sort of give them the plot sizes, and if people want to design them and things like that. That was the other way we were working with it. But then obviously the chances of that happening is extremely small anyway, and I'm probably never going to finish this thing. It's one of those projects that will never end, if you know what I mean. The other thing that we really need to do is complete the last bit of the town, which you would probably think this town is complete looking at it, except for the flooring, but it's not. There's no way it's complete, because the fact that we still have a wall, which is open to the outside on this section right here, and there is a huge gap right over the far side behind the iron farm, which is actually the first place of the town I started, but I've just been really lazy on digging it out, which is this section right here. But then again, you can still see this bookcase from inside the, I guess we're calling, what did we call this thing in the end? Like a tower, which isn't really a tower because it's sort of partially destroyed. And it has like a parkour course in it and a big drop down section underneath it, which we can still do with completing. Because this was the other thing, we wanted to get this all the way down to bedrock, which is another challenge in itself. We have sort of a ladder underneath it for that sort of thing. We do need to move that beacon further down and then move the beacon, which is in front of the castle, back down over here, because then we can have a speed mining area which we could work on again, because I've been in this world for so long now. Going caving is great every once in a while, but when you need massive amounts of resources, especially iron and gold and things like that, more leaning on the gold because we have an iron farm full of about 5 double chests worth of iron right now, which I haven't really turned on in a long time. How do I get to this one now? Can I get down there? It's underneath the castle now. I don't actually know if I've got a way down to the castle without breaking through. I actually think it's all sealed off for once. No, it isn't. I know where to get in. Let's see if I can, provided I can get over the wall. Yeah, there we go. There's still an undersection over here, which is actually the original height we wanted to build on, which is, yeah, different. Okay, goodbye, beacon. Do I leave this here? Answer is probably yes, because I'm sure I'm going to need that in the future. Why is there a redstone torch underneath? What have I been doing here? Because it's not even... Oh, no, hang on. It might be lined up. Huh, weird. You can sort of see where I get lazy when I'm building my floors from where some stuff is too high and some stuff is 1. I'm never going to be able to jump off this, so let's just run to the edge and jump down. Random little... Ooh, sheep! Ah, see? Not getting sidetracked. Doing the original job that we wanted to do. Just really, really slowly by the look of it. Wait, what? This... How the hell did you get here? Oh, this has really confused me. Oh, this isn't fair. This is one of the sheep which disappeared out of the sheep pen. I said that I'd named them to stop them despawning. How did it get out here? Does that mean the second sheep we had in that pen is also out in the wild? Okay, that's a thing. And a thing I wasn't expecting. That shocked me a little bit, that. We need to get it down safely, of course, because I don't want to kill the first sheep that I've, well, re-found. So does that mean that the mushroom's still alive? Because I said that it was struck by lightning because it was the easiest cause of death that I could think of. Maybe all the animals in my world are still alive then. They've just moved on to different places in the world. No kidding. This is definitely a sheep god. We've just got to find the second one now. Because I named 2 of them. So if you're still alive, the other one's going to be still alive. Huh. New OG sheep. What on earth was I thinking for the name at the time? There's no point leading him from up here. Because if I accidentally push him too quickly, he's just going to fall to his death. And that would be an unfortunate ending for a quite remarkable reunion with this rare sheep. It is definitely a rare breed of sheep, and I don't understand how it got from the sheep pen so far up a cliff. I'm so glad that I've still got all these like bridges and stuff. Can I get from here? I need to get on that stone bridge is where I need to be. Huh. Come on, sheepy. Come on. Did my lead break? Yeah, it did. Where's the lead? Okay. So if you're here, they quite literally could be anywhere. I'm lost for words as to how this sheep has got up to the top of a cliff. I can't even get it back down the cliff. I can't understand how a sheep with a mindless AI can get so far away from where it should be. Now I'm going to probably sleep and then go back over there and see if I can find the second one. Come on, sheep. You probably don't have much health from the fact that you've been climbing on cliffs. See, you're going back in the pen which you belong in, which you're probably just going to immediately despawn back from because we haven't changed the pen stylings just yet. Because we need to figure out the reason as to why you're, well, I guess you're not despawning. I guess you're just clipping through the wall. Good job I left a safety net in the back so that I could get back into this thing. Come on, dude. You're going to return to the pen. Come on. Oh, you can just skip over that bit. That works too. Let's do that. Let's do that. Break it. Break it. Where did it go? So if the carpet's the problem, which I don't think I have carpet anywhere else. So I'm presuming it's the carpet with the hitbox detection on the sheep. Because we've never had problems in this game with fences before. The carpet I was only ever using to get in and out. But if it's causing the sheep to despawn all the time, I think it's worth doing, well, having another method of getting in and out all the time. Which is probably going to end up being a gate. But, sheep, you are successfully returned to your home again. We need to get a block to replace that. In fact, I'm just going to be really, really lazy. Steal this block from here and replace it with the fence that's here. Okay, so I guess now we're going to be going sheep hunting, because I know I have a second sheep in this world now, which he's named. And if we can spot it after I've slept... I used to have a bed here. See? Distracting myself. So let's go and sleep. Well, I say sleep. It's midday. It's just the fact that it's so dark in this lower section. Huh. Alright, now we're on the hunt for sheep. If anybody can spot a sheep and I miss it, well, that's my own fault. But we're going to sort of start and swoop. We'll try and keep it as slow as I can. This is the old base. See, if he got there, the other one could have got quite literally anywhere. I'm going to go past all the really old builds. See, I wonder if... See, this is the other problem, is animals get stuck on cliffs, which stops the spawning in my world. Like, what I could probably do with is getting my bow and just start shooting anything I see on the side of an amplified cliff. See, that's 3 pigs in the space of a couple seconds that we've just spotted that aren't moving because they can't pathfind to anywhere else. Okay, there we go. Just bang my head. Okay. So, there's another pig down there. See, if I had a bow on me, there's a pig and a chicken in there. See, this is the other problem, is things get stuck. It's so annoying. And this is the other reason everything despawns in the area. Okay, let's use another firework. Thanks, game, for eventually recognizing that I'm trying to jump. This is a quite out of reach place to get to. So I wonder if they're still wandering around the actual city. I haven't seen any, but then again, I don't tend to go looking around the entire city every day. I sort of stick to one place. I am really failing to parkour today. I just cannot believe we found the sheep with a name on it. That's a lot of mushrooms in there. See, this is the place up here that I would try and look for llamas. There's this little secret exit out of the castle that we have on sort of like floor 4. I'm just having another quick look. If the further out we go, the less likely we're going to be able to find anything else. I've sort of circled the same place now. If I go and look at the back, I mean, the sheep getting over here in the first place is highly unlikely. But I mean, if we can just get a second one, we could start a breeding section again and get all the wool back. There's so many trees in this area. I'm also moving too quickly for the world to load in, which I don't want, because I want the animals on the floor spawning in is what I want. Ah, there's a horse here. See, is the horse... The question is this horse trained? See, that's the other problem, is I go around sometimes and I'll tame a horse and forget about it. No, that horse isn't tamed. Okay, which is a good thing, because it means that I could just kill it. Wow, that couldn't have fallen in a hole further down, could it? Okay. So let's have a look. We just need one more sheep. That's kind of the goal that we're going for right now. While we figure out what's next. That is a squid spawning area. Because I don't really have too many spawning areas for squid in my world. Oh, I've got my elytra still attached. I'll go and hit the bottom. There we go. Hang on. That's just reminded me. Didn't we have a spider spawner next to one of the end portals? I think we did. Wait, we might not even need the sheep in the first place. If I have a spider spawner, I could make a spider farm. Albeit they are the most annoying things to build in the world. I'm pretty sure we had an end portal in this area. I'm pretty sure it's under here. I'm not sure if the sign's still there. There should be... Aha! I knew I had something in this area. This is going to suck. Oh no, it's on a ladder. It's fine. I think I've got a spider spawner down by the dungeon down here, don't we? Okay, so here's the portal. Isn't it behind it? Is this a spider one? Yes, this is a spider one. Anything good? Oh, that's a lot of music discs. Let's just destroy all them. We could easily sit here for hours on end and make a spider farm. See, the other thing is we could make a cave spider farm somewhere, which might be the easiest option to do. But I guess we could just take the torches out. How frequent of a thing is it? Well, that spawned 2. Oh, I don't really care. You can hit me all you want. You're not going to do anything to me. See, that's the problem with spiders, is they climb the ceiling. And I don't actually think I've built a spider farm for a really, really long time. I'm just trying to look at the spawn rates of this thing. Is it even worth it? You've got strength on. Okay, spawned another. Could probably do with sorting out the entranceway, in fact. Just get some blocks. We could do 1, 2... Oh, no, not there. We need 1 more block. Yeah. Because the spider will just crawl through that gap otherwise. Yeah, it's not great spawn rates, really, is it? So let's just move on. And go back to our original goal of hunting sheep. Because I think that's a far more enjoyable thing to do. Did this end portal have a library? I'm pretty sure I'd have looted it by now. Because I'm pretty sure I've been through these numerous times trying to find all the enchanted books that they all had. What's through here? Well, a zombie for starters. Okay, so let's go back to the surface. Let's work our way up. Spawning mechanics for squids, it's Y64, isn't it? Because I think my town is slightly higher than Y64 to prevent them. Because I noticed they spawn a lot in these sections right here, but I've never seen any spawn in the water that we have inside the actual spawn town that we've created. Now that it's nighttime, though, I think all the animals are not going to be spawning because of the fact that all the hostile creatures will be instead. So let's go back to the middle of the safest place that we know and sleep for real this time. There we go. And it's daytime. Okay, so we need a sheep. Trying to think of the actual locations that a sheep is likely going to spawn in. And we should probably empty our inventory of stuff. Let's not run through the death portals that we have down there, because they are deafening. Do I have a disc section? I feel like I should. Okay, I do. Why is there a saddle in a music disc chest? Don't know, but I'm not going to query it right now. I think that's the best answer for that. Okay, so let's throw all of this in here. Do I have space? Squid ink goes in there. And I think we want to keep hold of everything else that's in our inventory, except for these random 4 dirt blocks. Which go in this one? Yeah, okay, good. Oh, we've got random carpet again because we took it off the original sheep farm. So let's go and look for sheep back in the area over here, because I think this is probably the best area we're going to get sheep spawning in. Can you imagine if one of the sheep had just wandered into a house and got stuck? That'd be amazing. But I haven't been in these houses for so long. Like, the ideas for them. Department store. Yeah, I think the issue I've got is the fact that I don't think... See? See what I mean? Like, he was in the pen. We put him in the pen. The spawn area unloaded, and now he's out of the pen. This is why I can't keep sheep. Ah, right, get back in the pen. You, come here. What are you clipping through? Is it it's got to be the fence blocks. Like, seriously, what is the point of having a sheep farm if the sheep leave the pen every 3 seconds? We've got to make these things spawn-proof. Sheep, come through. Thank you. OG sheep, I know you're good at jumping over a fence, but please, for the love of God, don't. I'm gonna tie you to it this time. You're staying there. Because I know, as soon as I come back, that will be off, you'll be outside the fence, and I will be back at square one again because my sheep has decided to leave. See, this is why you can't have nice things in this world. Because things move and they shouldn't do. It's also the reason I don't leave so many redstone devices running at once. Like, I have the minecart picking up the automatic farms, but besides that, if I have anything else running, the world's too slow. It just will not keep up. So, we're on the hunt for a named sheep. If we find a non-named sheep, that's completely fine too. It just means that, well, I'm pretty sure the other guy must have died by falling off a cliff or something. Which doesn't surprise me, considering that one has just decided to walk out of our fence, like, less than 2 minutes after it had been put in it in the first place. trying to spot stuff. This is the problem with having amplified terrain, is everything's nigh on impossible to spot at distance because the terrain doesn't stay level for long enough. See, the other option we've got is to go further out, and is to leave the amplified and go probably north. Is probably the easiest place. I've got a plains biome. See, this is where I need to consult my map, because I'm just going to get lost running around this place. See, and there's the other thing, is you can't take animals through the nether, because as soon as the overworld unloads, stuff despawns. You push it through a portal, it's gone. Which is the other issue I had when trying to transfer villagers and mushrooms and the like through the world itself. So, looking like we're looking for a lost cause right now, because I can't see anything in the, well, near us or in the distance, in fact, unless anybody's got better eyesight than I can and can see something at a split second as I'm staring at stuff while I move. It looks like we're going to have to go outside the amplified to find one, which we know are if that other sheep leaves again, I'm not going to be impressed. It once is fair enough, but if it does it twice... Yeah, if it's the chest under the fence, then surely we'd have noticed our sheep would have been at the front. Like, I can't confirm it. Like, I know the only two areas that stuff has been leaving the area, the two fence sections that stuff has been moving through, only one of them's got a chest underneath, because the one next to the center base doesn't. So, it can't be the chest. I'm pretty sure it's got to be the fencing. It just does... I don't know. I genuinely don't know what is causing the sheep to clip through the fencing all of a sudden. Like, I don't know if anybody else has had that problem where they've loaded... well, they unload an animal farm and things leave the farm. They get out because of the fact that the area is unloaded. And presumably the fact that the sheep stays loaded because it's named... I don't know, because I've had non-named stuff in there before and it's all despawned. It's gone. Faster than you could breed them and get them up enough to get some wool out of them. See, there's a pig down there as well. So this is what I'm saying, is there's so many random animals in this world which are stopping the spawning of everything else. It's kind of a shame, really. But yeah, if anybody else has the problem with this game, by the fact that animals despawn in penned areas, we could do with, well... We know it's never going to get fixed at this point anyway. We just kind of need to work out a fix around it, or a way to prevent them from doing that. Because as soon as we can work out a way of stopping our animals from leaving the areas that they shouldn't be leaving in the first place, then we're going to have so much more success with making farms. Even if it means that the animal spawn count limit in an area is maxed out, that's fine. But having stuff despawn is not cool. Noticing we have like a well... tells you how often I come to these areas, is the fact that everything is pitch black and we have nothing there. But then there's the other thing, is they want to sort of force players onto the Bedrock edition of the game on the Xbox One. I see it in the game store now, that it's actually been... people are being charged like 15 to 20 pounds, euros, whatever, to buy the game. It's a bit mental, I think, because... the game's free for those that have played like 5 hours on this version of the game. There's a chicken up here. Yeah, you suffocating the wall. That's exactly what I think of you right now. But yeah, I don't think the Bedrock Edition is currently worth switching over to it, even though the fact that it has the aquatic update in it. I've had a look at it. It's still not smooth for me. It still looks like a mobile game that's been pushed onto the console, which I think is why I still prefer the look of the Java Edition and of the... I guess you call this the console edition of the game. But yeah, so, there's another chest over here. What's in this one? More music discs. Typical. Am I surprised at this point? Probably not. Let's just throw all this in here. I'm going to end up looking in these chests at some point in the future. So why not? What have we got on the floor over here? We have the carrots and potato farm, which is full. We know it's full because it's been full for about the last month, and I just haven't done anything about it, or connected it up to the minecarts to automate the thing. Because that was the whole point of this thing above our heads, is to automate the minecarts moving the food around the world, and we still haven't got around to doing it. And I also have unlabeled chests down here. What? What? What is with discovering animals in locations that animals shouldn't be in that we are doing today? There is a cow's head sticking through the wall. What is in here? Dude, where have you spawned? Oh. There's grass back here. Oh. That's not good. If you want to, you know, you just go through there. You can go into the base. There you go. Out you go. Go on. Oh, there's a ladder there. You can't go past the ladder. Okay. Now you can go through because I just destroyed everything. Go. Go. Get out. Right. We need to cover up the grass in there now. I was going to think dirt, but grass will just grow through the dirt. Let's just go with cobblestone. Nobody's ever going to see it. It's fine. Shh. We never saw that cow spawn back there. Okay. Let's just take the food off the bar a second. Cow, get out of there! No! No! Get out! You're just making this life awkward for yourself. Come on, move, shift. Go. No. Cow. For the love of it. Please, just... If you're going to make my life a misery, please at least jump onto one of the pieces of stone. Please. Oh. Doesn't matter. I'm stupid. I have a lead. They will pull the cow out. It is fine. Cow, come on. Out of that hole. Come on. Slowly. There you go. I have nothing to attach the cow to, so as soon as I go back in, the cow's going to follow me back in here. Ah, great. Okay, I don't really care. Let's just get out. What were those ladders on? Which block were they on? Oh, that's the wrong place. That's there. Okay, and then the ladders are 1, 2, and there we go. Cow, I guess you're coming with me, because I have no fence post to get rid of you. Well, I guess you can come over here then. I'm going to dump you in the sheep pen. It's not as... You don't want to come with me, or you do want to come with me? Come on. It doesn't matter, because you're coming over this way anyway. We seem to have got severely sidetracked in this stream today. But that's fine. We're getting used to going around the world again and just doing the little bitty projects, because once I come back to recording videos for this world again, everything is going to be so much stronger, I find. How that cow almost launched himself into the pen was impressive. Come on. Wow. I can't do anything right today. The cow is now stuck in the corner. The lead broke again. Get up there. Go. Nope. Am I just doing something wrong? Come on. In you come. In. You stay there. Okay, so let's go and do something else. Because I feel like chasing animals around the world is not the smartest of or smartest thing to do. Yeah. Well, I guess that's the fact that I replaced a huge chunk of their grassy terrain with the city. I could probably see why, but yeah, animals do not like me at all. But yeah, so what to do next is the question. There's so many different things we could do. For example, maybe what we can do is set up this thing. See, I'm trying to think now, because I've got a feeling what I'm going to have to do is I'd rather move the farm to the track than move the track to the farm. Because currently the farm is in this building right here. But the actual farm is up there. It's in the sky. And I would rather drop the items onto the track into a hopper. Or at least maybe hopper... See, that's the problem, is the center of the farm is actually there. Now, getting items to here... it's going to be tricky. Unless we just move the track and just sort of give it a U-bend on one side. Maybe that's the smart thing to do. So, we're going to need some track, spruce, stone slabs, and a lot of hoppers. Which, if I go over to the train which we built, I could steal the hoppers from the wheels, which I'm not happy with. That's probably the easiest thing to do right now. And you also get a better look at the train as well. I should have said we would look at earlier, but we are only just looking at it now. But this is our train up close. We have some fence posts underneath it. We have some hoppers. We are also going to now work ourselves down here. And luckily, the Elytra is really, really good for getting into small spaces. There we go. that the last one? That is the last one. So, break that. In fact, I'm pretty sure I can stand up at this point. Okay, so let's just break all of these. I'm going to put the slabs back in place, which luckily I didn't delete them. I just kept them, so I can just go do and jump out. And that's one side and 8 hoppers in our hand. And let's do exactly the same on the other side. Get 8 more hoppers in the process. And we got a fence gate, which actually works out for the best because we need one for those sheep. Well, it's 1 sheep and 1 cow currently, but yeah. Let's go there. There we go. Just stand back up. Oops, smash the block above my head. That's fine. So this is why I don't really tend to do too many streams too often, because I find that I do the grindy stuff on a stream, and then the episode should be a little bit more interesting. But I think the sort of last 5 or 6 episodes have turned into, this is what I've done while I haven't recorded. Here's an update for you. End of episode. Next episode, here's an update I did since last time. Here's all the stuff I've built. Next episode. I don't really want to do that. I want to sort of do stuff on camera, which is what we're going to be doing now. So let's go and grab ourselves the track stuff. See, the other thing is then, how do we get the stuff out of the hopper? Out of the hopper minecart? Because currently, if it's running around up there, it's going to get stuck infinitely. See, that's what is probably going to happen, is we'll have to replace the systems underneath with the item which they are picking up. But we're then also sacrificing an item out of it every time that it goes into that hopper right there. Which... yeah, that's a bit of a strange one, really, because sort of the item is picked up much earlier than the item is picked up, activates, and then is spat back out, which, as you can see, is right there. You can see the dispenser underneath it, which is why the items don't stay in the system, which is good. I think 1 item stays in it at all times, but that's about it. But that's fine. So, let's jump through the portal again and listen to the noise of the nether. There we go. We need spruce wood. That's you take that. Let's try and implement something that actually looks good, as well as functions well, because that's usually my problem, is I'll get one, but not the other. So, while I'm sorting myself out again, so we've got hoppers, we've got the minecart, shulker box, we have a beacon, which we still need to go and put back where we took it from. Well, we need to move it from where we took it from to the broken tower so we can get a speed mining thing set up. And I think that's all we need for now, because we're just going to try and work out the track. Oh, and we'll need redstone torches, which means going back up to an ender chest somewhere. There's one inside the building, which we are going to be working from anyway, so I might as well use that one. And we will activate our track. Because if we can get the minecarts moving around the track again... yes, okay, let's take that up there. I'm trying to think this through whilst also doing stuff that is going to work on camera. You see, this is another thing, is he clipped through a block in that corner and disappeared for about 12 months and then came back himself. So yeah, it's not just animals that hate me, villagers hate me too. See, there's 2 ways about this. Is either run the track level with it and then just have the system pull the food this way a little bit, which is, I guess, fine. So how would this work? So first of all, it's a 3-wide track, which would run from here. It should be, well, it's 3 wide, but with the side panels makes it 5. Oops, I thought I'd put that on my bar there for a second. I didn't. Ah, we've forgotten slabs. Luckily, though, we've got stone on us, so we can just make some on the fly. There we go. So we're going to bring this... This is going to get a bit fiddly, because it's not centered on the gap that we've got. What is the center part of this gap? Is it right here? Is that actually the center? 1, 2, 3, 4 to the stair. 1, 2, 3. Huh. Hi, welcome to the stream. See, we could either do this one of 2 ways. We could bring it so it centers up with that, which I like the idea of, or we center it with the middle of the post right here. Yeah, maybe it is that. It's to down the world size is pretty big. But the loading issue shouldn't cause animals to move. Maybe what it is it unloads certain things first rather than others. So the world will actually unload the blocks. So the animal could still move around for a set period of time. But besides that, there really isn't much we can do without putting them in something which is like either a too deep hole in the floor or just trapping them in a building. There's not much we can do about it. Thanks. It's taken a long time to get it this way. I'll put it that way, the world. And long may it continue. See, the other thing is this building roof made of dirt still? I think it is. But I can't tell because I'm digging out the dirt blocks where the hopper chain is. No, okay, so that's actually the floor of the building. What we could do... I don't like the idea of this looking. It's got to look correct. So let's put our stuff back. So if that's the middle right there, we have a torch issue which we can fix. See, that's the other problem is there's a torch line which runs down that as well. Which is not going to fix itself either way, because if we ran it down the middle there, that would be on the slabs, which wouldn't work. I'm presuming all of these are full. Yeah, they are. How many is he doing? Wow, there's a lot of food here. They are very busy up there. We're getting to work. See, the other thing we could do is the fact that it's actually a side part of the track. You see, I'm trying to think of how we did it over there. And the fact that I think it's still level with the main system. But then again, I've got to figure out how to do a minecart unloader and loader. Because I don't know how to do one of them. I've done one once, I think. But even then, that was a long time ago. I don't really do minecart loaders and... Oh, tell a lie! We do have a minecart loader and unloader. It's at the sugarcane, pumpkin, and melon farm. Well, one of them's an unloader, but isn't the... I swear we've got a loader over there under the sugarcane farm, which I'm actually going to go over and check while I dump off more carrots and potatoes. Because if we've got a minecart loader there, could at least use the design. Let's just smash into these little stalls and come back inside. Okay, let's go get rid of all this. Yeah, like I said, I think I've built these a long time ago, so it's sort of the nice rare thing to remember that I've got. I don't know if I've got an actual access point inside the sugarcane farm lower section, but I'm sure I can see it. There is one down there, isn't there? I swear there is. Let's just dig our way down to the track. Yeah, we have. Okay, so is this what I think it is? How does this work? Okay, so the hopper tells us that we've got items in it, which it's full because the system was turned off for so long. Okay, that releases the minecart. So that's how simple this thing is. It's quite literally hopper, item, a repeater, a dust, and and that's it, because there's a torch here, isn't there? Okay, so I'm going to actually leave this uncovered for now, because I'm sure we will be back here very, very shortly when we try and figure out what the hell we're doing with the one over by the carrots and potatoes. Now, the other thing we could probably do with doing is getting a filter which separates carrots and potatoes. Because, yeah, because then that's going to mess everything up. Because I think what the problem is we're going to have is the fact that the farm runs on 3 different items is the minecart's going to pick up the first thing that drops into the hopper. Unless we feed the minecart the first item that it's going to get first. Which just makes things 10 times more complicated than it needs to be. So, whilst I have my redstone thing here, and whilst it's in my head, let's build the unloader really, 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 really quickly. So we need one of those, one of those, one of them. We need... Is it a... Oh, is it powered rail? I think it was powered rail, which is good because I can't remember. Yeah, it would have been a powered rail. So presumably, if I smash this, I'm just going to pick up a crap load of potatoes and carrots again. There goes my inventory. So let's just throw down a double chest for everything that's still dropping out of the sky with the farmer. And this is going to get annoying very quickly with my inventory filling up with food whilst I'm trying to figure out this farm. The other problem is I can't switch off the farm without actually going up above it and switching off the villager we've got up there. But if I do that, I might never get it fixed and working again. The fact that we've probably, I think we've lost one of the farmer villagers. I think he's off the bread floor, which I think is the top floor we've got. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm sort of recognizing some of the names again now. It's been a long time. We've been streaming for almost an hour now. We haven't really done anything besides find a sheep with a name on, which we thought had died. And, yeah, I think that's about it, really. We've literally caught a sheep and cleaned up a little bit. So now we're thinking whether or not... Do I lower this? Does it make... So here's what I'm thinking. Is if we keep it on the same height, the minecart's not going to have any problems getting up a ramp. But it's going to look ugly. Really, really, really seriously bad. So let's have a look. Because if presumably it's going to have to work its way all the way to there, we're going to end up with something like this. Which we're going to end up with it on both sides. So let's fill in that with dirt. And try and figure this out properly. Because what we're probably going to end up doing is it'll have to run a ring round the top. Or will it? It's going to end up having to be one... This is going to get a bit messy. Because it's got to end at a single point. Our tracks are all like curves like this. Like the original idea I was going for. Let's get some more spruce wood and get this thing built really quickly. Because what I'm thinking here now is the fact that the minecart loader and unloader, which I've just realised there is an unloader underneath us if we need one as well. But the problem we're going to have is if I put this... Let's pick those up first. I'll just throw that there. There we go. Okay, it's actually gone. It's fine. Dump that in the chest. Nothing else has fallen. Ooh, wow, that was really good timing. Is the fact that the rail track's going to have to end at a solitary point. Which means having to have it release. It's going to have to go in, but then has to go straight. So let's get some track. Let's try and figure this thing out. Because what it's going to have to do is the way the track is running is you run this direction on the left-hand side facing this way, but then it runs this way on the right-hand side going towards center. So if you're coming into this area right here, you will come in on this side, which then we want it to probably do this, but then also do... Oh, this is going to mess up so much stuff. Is I want that there, but that there. Maybe that's how it'll work. And there you go. Because that's probably what we're going to end up with. Let's just slab around the outside of it. We're going to need to make some more space at the back anyway. It's probably going to... That has to be a solid block if I'm not mistaken. Because otherwise it will not stop it. But I think we keep our we keep the powered rails in the same place. So how the gap's 10, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. No, okay, we're going to bring it back to about here. That's fine. It's just to keep the power running in the track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, actually bringing it back maybe to here. Sort of doesn't bring too much pressure on it, but it doesn't mess everything up as well. Okay, so let's put that there. 2 more powered rail to go in, and I think we need to... Yeah, let's put it... Even though it doesn't line up, we need a torch just because it's going to be messy. That could have been in a much better position. Is maybe we try and... No, okay, so this is where it gets tricky. So we're going to do that. No. We're going to try and do... No. I want that one as a corner piece. Can I do that? Does that work? If I do that, okay, that makes my corner. Then I do this. If I do this, does it corner it? Oh, okay, there we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. And that doesn't update it. Sweet! We actually did something properly that we wanted to do. Oh my goodness. This is looking a little bit messy here. What we will probably do is tidy it up just a little bit. So we're going to take out these 3 here on both sides. Let's get ourselves... First of all, let's drop a crafting bench down. Anybody see the crafting bench in my inventory? Am I blind again? Did I put it down somewhere? Maybe I did. I don't remember doing that. I didn't... Did I throw it in the chest? Nope. But let's just quickly throw more stuff in this chest. You see how quickly the food is dropping on the floor. It's insane how quickly this farm works. And how much we don't use it. Yeah, I've left the crafting bench in the shulker box. Oops. What were we doing? Oh yes, we were making some stairs. Because I need a lot of stairs. Well, I need 2 stairs. But I mainly need the blocks to go with the stairs. Okay, so... We're going to keep the pattern going that we have on the other side, which is, as you can see there, it sort of slabs itself up. So if we go like so. Aha, there we go. So let's figure this thing out then, because I'm pretty sure we can do this without messing it up too much. Okay, so first of all, the hopper has to go there, like so. And now the fact that we have a solid block here is even better. We need a... What are they called? I can see it. A comparator to go at the back, like so. I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to remember what we were doing. We're currently trying to fix the automatic villager farms that we have above our head, which are producing infinitely amounts of potatoes and carrots currently. It should do bread as well, but it's currently broken. Because currently what it does is it drops into the hopper on the floor right there and goes into the house underneath. But I want to connect it up to the minecart so that we can get this stuff transferring into a much larger storage area so that I don't have items sat on the floor all the time. But to do that, we need to, first of all, figure this thing out again. So it's got comparator, like so, block, torch, dust, repeater. It's like that, isn't it? Repeater into the block. Dust here. And then a torch. There we go. Torch should go on the back. Because right now there's items in the hopper. But I take them off. That gets activated. Sends the minecart away. Brilliant. Good start. Now all we've got to do is sort this problem. Is the fact that items are going amiss. And also the fact that we want to separate potatoes and carrots if we can. Maybe we get them to 2 different points. Also, I can get rid of this now. This awful slab which we have right here. See, doing an item filter on that isn't too bad. That's fine. That isn't my problem. It's trying to determine... Once the minecart has the item inside of it... depending on the item, we want it to take a different track junction further down, depending on where our storage room ends up being. Because currently, they're just going to run down the middle, and because they don't have one of the 4 coloured pieces of wool inside it, orange, white, light blue, or magenta, they're just going to get stuck in an infinite loop, like the 2 hopper minecarts we have down here right now. Now, the one way we could do this is to feed the hopper minecart a piece of wool first, but that takes up one of the item slots in the hopper minecart. The other way around that is the fact that we'd use a chest minecart, but then obviously... Well, actually, no, a chest minecart might actually do the trick, because we don't need the hopper to pick anything up out of it, because it's going to be fed into it through the hopper here. This hopper's going to feed the whole thing. So, let's see, have we got... We've got a normal minecart. Do I... Okay, I'm just going to make another chest. Oh, I've got... Nope, use that. This might as well use what I've already got. See, if I was still building the castle right now, I'd be so precious over all the spruce wood. It'd be unreal, because that took a lot of stuff. So if this goes, say, place it there, push it in. See, once that fills up, I've got a feeling that's going to send it down to the center of the world. But I've got a feeling it's not going to go away, because I think the villager moves too quickly. Excuse me, for the minecart. See what I mean? It's dropping it in faster than the minecart can pick it up. See, that's the other thing, is I think a hopper minecart is better suited to faster travel. See, it's picking it up slowly. But then again, is the minecart against the wall? That's the other thing. Is the minecart running quick enough that when it powers it, it's going to send it away? So if I take those out, for example, let it run, and stand well back. Okay, the minecart goes, and off to the middle it goes. So let's go and follow the minecart and see what it does. It's just bounced straight back. Now, did it hit the other minecart? Luckily, it's a one-way track system. I think it actually hit the second minecart there as it was running around the middle. But as you can see, because it doesn't have one of the 4 pieces of wool inside it, it's not going to affect the junction. For example, it has to pull it out of this hopper right here. Would pull orange to change the junction over here to send it down to the farm in the first place. See, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have the minecart. Oh, this is going to get really complicated for no reason. Because what's going to end up happening is the minecart will go to the chest room, drop off the items. Sorry, I'm eating at the same time here and I was trying to explain something. But as the minecart comes to a stop, it's going to have to be, it'll activate something which then sends a dispenser out to shoot the item back into it, which is for the junction that it's going to, which presumably the junction is going to match where the actual farm item is. For example, this one is probably going to be carrots and potatoes, but I don't think you can do 2 track junctions with 2 different items. I don't think it works, because what will end up happening is if I move the wool from here to here, say I had carrots in the first slot and then the potatoes were in the rest of it, what it will do is, because of the fact that it pulls items through the hopper, is it pulls the item out of the first slot first. So eventually it will run out of carrots and it will just have potatoes in it. And it will fill up with potatoes, which is fine because it will work for one item, but it won't work for both. The issue is we're going to have to set it up so that it prioritizes item X in slot 1. It's either that, or we have the minecarts permanently fill up with how many items it needs in that first slot to get it from point A to its point B, which is its pickup location, back to point A, which would be the chest room, which is the main thing that we've got going right now. Is that chest room, first of all, it should be over on White Junction, which means we're going to need 2 different slots if it's coming from White Junction over to Orange Junction, which means, but then again, it's a bit of a challenge then, really, because what you would want is the hoppers on the floor will only pick out the first slot in the chest, which means on its journey towards the potatoes, say it was coming from over there to over here, the only item you need in the first slot is the orange wool. But on its way back, if it's going to the White Junction, the only item you need in the first slot is white wool, which means at some point between here and it coming back around to here is the orange wool has to come out of the first slot and white wool has to go into the first slot. Now there's one way we can do that, which is actually not too bad, is the fact that once the orange wool is pulled out right here, is we have white wool dispensed onto the track so that the minecart, well then again, it has to be a hopper minecart to pick it up then, because a chest minecart won't pick up off the floor, a hopper minecart will, which severely limits the amount of slots that we have to pick up the items. Now, if we've got multiple stuff running here, for example, this thing already is full, which is not good. Is that a zombie up there? Yes, it is. So, you know what I mean? This thing runs ridiculously quickly. Now, the smart thing to do would have been to build the farms in 2 different locations, but It's not going to work because they're already built in the same place now. And yeah, I'm not moving it. So we're going to have what presumably is going to end up being a circuit of minecarts running the multiple farms. Now, obviously, that means that, sadly, we're going to have to build new sugarcane, all the automated farms that we've got going on the ground, because they're not up high enough above the track system to be added to it easily. Now, we obviously have the spiral track, which runs between the melons, the pumpkins, and the sugarcane right now, but it's a one-way track, which means only one minecart can run on that at once, which is a big list of problems as to why this thing has never been developed in the first place. But what we can do is, first of all, you see, that's the other thing, is it's going to have to... See, if I run a minecart underneath it at a set speed... See, there's the other thing, is the minecart has to turn around at some point. It has to come all the way back. Zombie, do you want to jump down for me? Or do you want to just pathfind really poorly up there to me? See, there's the other thing, is if we keep all of the minecarts in this area right here, we'll be fine. Because what we can do is set junctions for if minecarts are going further out and they're going off to a different section of the world, which is highly unlikely at this point. For now, we could have the minecarts just U-turn at points of interest. Which means if we set up a loader, we could, in theory, lock a hopper with one item in it at the back over here before the hopper even reaches, well, before the chest minecart reaches over here, is we'd lock it here at the edge of the town, obviously isolating all this big area right here, which is fine because we're never actually going to use that. You got to think of the world size at this point, is it's so big. Realistically, are we ever going to build anything much further out than where we are right now? The answer is probably no. But this thing does look really cool in the fact that I will probably have to use it for something at least, which if we use the minecarts underneath it, we should be good. So what we're going to do is, this is where it gets messy, because now I've got to specifically lock a hopper with one item in it, and actually, I think I know how to do that, because I think what is happening underneath the central track locations in the middle of the world, where we have the 4 junctions running around the centre, is each one of them points under there, is it has 2 hoppers, and I think there's a dispenser on the end of it, or is it a dropper on the end of it? Which is actually recycling the items. I'm trying to think which is the easiest one to access and look at is this one. It's 2 hoppers. I'm pretty sure... Oops. Well, that minecart's not coming back. You can just keep going. Off you go. See, we've got 2 hoppers right here. Can I access the one underneath? Through the chest? I've got to be really fiddly if I want to get to it. So that's the dropper. Wait, is it in a dropper? Oh. No, it's 2 hoppers. See, there is a second hopper here. And the dropper. So you've got... Above this, I'm pretty sure, is the second hopper. Then we've got this hopper, which peeps the block. And then this one, I presumably pulls one out and then fires off. Which we want to happen. We just want it happening from a different place. We want it recycling its items. Okay. Sort of getting a little grasp on what we need to do here. But while I'm down here, I'm going to grab some more blocks. Am I in crouch? Yes, I am. No wonder I'm not moving. I'm going to have some hella editing to do to get this into an actual episode. We've done so little at the start. We're sort of getting our rhythm a little bit now, which is a little bit better. Blocks. That's what I came back for. I'm already forgetting. It's been 2 minutes since I left this place. Probably don't need that many blocks. In fact, it's actually much smarter just to grab the blocks that I need. So like stone slabs and stone brick and stuff. I could do with some stairs too. Let's just grab that. Okay. That should be good enough. Let's go and work on what we need to do over at the top. It's nice to do a project for once, which is actually going to benefit the world, excuse me, in some way. So we've got this cross point right here. So we're going to have to repeat what we've just done here on the floor, which is this weird thing. It's okay, so I think the easiest thing to do with the most space is to actually bring it out beyond the bridge. So let's just rip out. Let's probably go as far as that, so it's the far side. Let's just throw that all in there, like so. Because then we can do it from here. Which, if we sealed this off anyway, that would be the back piece. We can actually hide 90% of the redstone, which we'll do. And plus the fact if we slab the top of this, you're never going to see the old blocks anyway. No, we don't want that. We want stairs in these places, don't we? Because if that's going to be the back wall, that will be solid blocks. I'm just trying to copy what we did on the other side, that's all. Oops, how did that get over there? Okay, so that would be there, like so. That, full block. Stair? That's what we did, isn't it? Okay, that is that position there. And then sat on top of that first block would be the hopper, which we can do right here. That's our hopper. I'm ever so slightly puzzled as to what I've just done. That's right, isn't it? What did I do? Oh, it's actually on the floor. Oh. What we've made here is like a full block too high. Which we could just do this. And then have our... If that's the comparator, it needs to then be a block into the torch, into dust and repeater here. That would work fine. Okay, brilliant. Let's just do that. Okay, and use these. So this has to go curve. And then this goes curve, smash, place, curve, break, this, place. There we go. And then this is easy to fix because all we've got to do is this. And actually, it's not too far away from the powered rail in the first place that we can get that going. So we need one torch, one dust, one repeater, and one comparator. One way to fill our inventory up. Sadly, the world's single player only, which is a little bit... I sort of like keeping it that way. I know people like to join and stuff, but the fact that I've worked so much into the world, I sort of kind of... If I want to do multiplayer, I'd probably do it, but it would probably mean a new world with everybody else in it as well, which is sort of why I was hinting at a while ago, is doing a Bedrock version, or a server anyway, because that's probably the easiest thing to do. Okay, so that currently will just bounce the minecart back off. Which, yeah, that's fine, I think. Okay, we actually, for a second, I thought I actually had the blocks I need. Nope. Okay, let's go and get some wool. See, this is the other thing, is we've got to lock this hopper so that it only holds at a time one item. But I don't know if you can do that. Because what we're actually testing for is two different things of detection. We're detecting when A, the hopper is empty, and B, when the hopper has one item in it. Let's empty this thing already. My goodness, we're going to end up with a chest full of potatoes and carrots while we've been working on this thing. Okay, let's just get rid of those. There we go. And they can go in there. See, we've filled up like 4 rows of this thing already. That's insane. See, once we get this finished, what I've got a feeling is I'm going to end up just filling up the wall around the outside of this so that it's all the same height. Because quite right now, that looks a little bit silly to me. But let's go and grab ourselves some white wool. Oh, my firework just won't shoot. Fantastic. Twice there, nearly. The train is still iffy on me. I'm still getting used to it. See, they haven't moved now, but that's because I put them on the floor. Right, so let's just grab... Not one. I meant to leave one and take the rest. Good job, me. There we go. So let's fly back. We need to figure this out. We need to make sure we get this right, first of all. See, what we could probably do is just copy what we have everywhere else, which is... How do we lock the hoppers over there? Are we locking the secondary hopper? Are we locking the primary hopper that we've got? Because what locks it? Oh, it's the primary one that gets locked. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we locked the one above it, which could work. We're going to have to end up running something like this, though, which underneath there is a... No, it locks the second one. Oh. Look, it locks the one underneath, but we can't do that. We've got to get the... This is tricky. Unless we think that the position that we have right now is not this hopper, but rather is this dropper. That is currently the hopper that we've just put down for the wall. So that's where the minecart would hit underneath. That's where it would steal it from. So we just run this thing next to it. Because if that locks with one in there, which means it only ever releases one every time the cycle goes on, because this thing isn't long enough to let two through at once, which is what would pull all the items out the first hopper and break the entire thing. Okay, so we know what we're doing now. Using items in our world as inspiration for new items is great. It also means that we're going to have... It's going to end up being in the wall, isn't it? So we want hopper here. And it's going to be hopper there. Because it has to face into the dispenser. It has to face into the block which it is using to detect from. Why did I make more stone brick? I've got some in my inventory now. So that will be comparator. Then it will be piece of... Oh, tell you what, let me grab my redstone shulker box so I don't have to keep trailing over here every 10 minutes to get stuff out of it. Whilst we figure this thing out. So actually, the issue is we're going to end up thinking... It's not really an issue. It's sort of... The minecart gets stopped. We need... 3? 2. 2. 2, 2. We only need one of those. No, I want to put that in first. I'll do the comparator last. Because that's got to go underneath. That's blocked. That's a block. I don't want to use my slabs. That would be a terrible waste. That's the repeater down there. That is hidden. Dust, dust. Comparator. That turns off. Oh, no, 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 no. Ah, we can't even do that either. Redstone torch. Powered rail. It's got to go block further black, I'm afraid. Which means that goes further into the wall. Which is it's a good thing. I don't have to look at it, I guess. But... Okay, so there we go. So that will be torch here now. Okay, let's just put a torch there. We don't want monsters spawning inside our redstone. That will be there. Comparator will go on that. Drop that in there. And that. Grab that. That's the comparator. We then put the hopper running into it. Oh, no, we want that one facing the other way. So there we go. We've actually got two... Because I don't mind this additional hopper being sat here, because it's going to force the item from the one which is locked, which is here, into the one which it's actually pulling from, which is this one right here. Okay, we're getting somewhere with this. So now we need to fill this thing with wool, which will pull them out one by one. Locks at 18, 1 in here, none in there, 11 in there. Because now the one that we have is fine, it works, but to make it work, white wool has to go in the top there, which then gets pulled to there. That's fine, that works okay. Because it's now getting the solitary piece in it, The only issue we've got... It's only going to let items through it if they're fed in at the top. I don't know. Because now what we've got to do is we've got to get items of white wool circulating through this infinitely. See, this is another reason. Is wool is going to get moved around the world just as much as any of the other items in this place. I don't know. Because genuinely, as soon as the minecart goes to pick that piece of wool up... Well, first of all, something's gone wrong here. Terribly, terribly wrong. Ah, it's because we updated the track. So first of all, we've got to do that block. There. That goes to there. Then this one. There. Okay, there we go. But yeah, what we've actually got to get... We've sort of got to do a bit of a weird thing here now. Because we're sort of going to have a minecart for... A minecart is going to have to run around loading up the colours just as much as a minecart is going around unloading the colours. There's almost got to be an unloader next to the loader, which if it gets to this point and it's got items of white wool inside of it, the unloader should be on... The unloader would really be here, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. We'd have to have an item unloader on this side with an additional minecart which runs round picking up pieces of wool and distributing them back through everywhere in the world. It would sort of have to go around picking up the loose ones, which I don't know if we've got a way of picking up the ones in the middle, because I know they're the ones that are going to get used. See, where's the white junction? Okay, the white junction's over here. What happens when I physically spit a piece of wool into the junction? Besides the fact that the junction functions, where does the additional piece of wool go? Does it go into the dropper, which is effectively just a storage place for everything else that we have underneath? That piece of wool is now... Okay, the piece of wool is now in the hopper. I guess I didn't have a piece of wool in this thing in the first place. I don't have ender pearls either, which is not great. So which means I'm going to have to use a firework to lift myself up like 3 blocks. Just crash back on the roof. So if I put this piece of wool in it now, what happens? Besides the fact that my minecarts are now running up. Missed. Good start. You see the fact that the junction changed and everything lit up. But then I'm presuming it's just sat in the dropper. No. Where is it going? Oh, there's a chest at the top of these things. Oh, I'm so clever sometimes. The whole reason it was set up is so I didn't have to go underneath. Look, there's a chest right next to it. If that isn't a dead giveaway of where the items are actually going, then I don't know what is. Yeah, there's 2 pieces of wool inside here. I drop that in there. There's another piece of wool in it. Okay, so the whole thing's it's circling the items inside. So all the items which are actually on the top are in these chests. So we could either do dropper towers to bring the things up high enough that one of the chests goes around picking them all up, which would... Oh, see, there is one way we could do this, and that's to have the items spit out instead of them going into the chest. Where the hell did that zombie come from? Is to, instead of having the items collect in a chest, is to have them spit out onto the track, whereby a hopper minecart runs round, scooping them all back up, and running around the areas dropping them all back off. See, because the first thing it's going to do... No, because that makes everything slightly out of line. See, now we're thinking about how hoppers work. But if you think that the first thing the hopper is going to pick up is... If it's used a piece of orange wool to go over the orange junction, the first thing the hopper is going to do is pick up that piece of orange wool and then do a loop. Because of the fact that it... Unless, by some miracle, we get this chest moved behind the direction of the track, which we could do, it isn't impossible to do it, is we probably have to move like a dropper tower here, move them underneath. There'll be a slight bit more redstone under every single junction, which actually probably only have to do it with the orange and I guess the white one for now, because those two don't really have any farms on them just yet, and the fact that that's the castle isn't going to get used as much. But we could do a hopper tower, spit the item out here, would then get, because then it would get recollected. But the problem, I don't know. I don't know how this would work. I don't think it's possible. Because what we need the hopper minecart to override the junctions and go through. The other thing is I just go around every so often and manually update all the chests. But that's just a job that I'm going to end up having to do. Because I don't think there is a way that I get wool to bypass the system. I don't think we could have like a filter minecart running around all the time with all the stuff in, sort of loading all of it back up for when the minecart chests run around. Because eventually this thing is going to empty, and it's going to empty very, very quickly. The other thing is we get rid of the wool. Is we don't use wool. And we use a resource that we have millions of. Something by which is infinitely generating and generating quicker than we're going to use it in the world. I think we have an idea here. Is we're going to have to use renewable resources on the track. Which means item filter, you're probably getting used after all. Because what we're going to end up having to do is get an item which we can leave to farm infinitely above the chest. So that when the chest fills up with said item, we can let it release one at a time. Which the easiest thing I can think of doing, which is lag free, is to do... Well, first of all, we could use melons on one area. I'm trying to think of... We need renewable items, right? Which aren't going to be used on this section of the farming. So if we put a solitary melon above this thing, we are providing by the fact that the melon will harvest quick enough that we can break the melon, drop it into the hopper, and have everything work. It is possible to do it, but it is really, seriously tricky. That's what we're probably going to have to do. We're probably going to have to create piston farm, tiny, tiny, tiny farms in each section, which can completely generate itself over and over and over and over again without my input into it to make it work. Which means we're probably going to end up using melons, pumpkins, sugarcane, you name it, things like that. But I think a melon is probably the easiest thing to do. The easiest thing to use. So if melons is actually used on the white track piece, then yeah, I don't think we'd ever need to farm it. Because if we have the farm for the melons in the white section anyway, the minecart's not going to need a melon inside of it to activate down that section. So we have the melon farm in the same area as the storage room. The farm can function normally. We can have the items drop straight into the storage room without a minecart, so that any minecart that's got melons inside it we can use as the white system over there, which means setting up teeny tiny melon farms across the area. But in theory, that'll do the trick, because a melon farm could be activated with the detection block, can't think of its name off the top of my head, observer, and it will auto harvest. We never have to touch it. We know it's an infinite resource that we're never going to need too much unless we start harvesting it using villagers, which we already have like 4 double chests worth of the thing in the first place. So using single melon farms, instead of wool, we would replace this with melons. We would never have to mess about with the junction again. So, first things first, let's go and get a stack of melons and replace the white wool section that we have over there with a melon filter. Which, this thing is insane, by the way. See, I've got 2 filters to fill with melons and a tiny little melon farm to create, so I'll make some seeds while we're there. Oops, flying past it. Let's go over here. Is to pull, we've got to, oh, jump, avoid the minecart, there we go. There we go, let's get in here. Yeah, that's right. Drain all the wool away. I don't need wool in my hopper. Go away. Shoo. This will disappear down to 18. It also means that we'll flushed everything out the system. In this chest, melons have rotated through it, and now the white wool is no longer white wool, but in fact, melon. Which means we could do with another crafting table, because we're going to craft 2 melons to replace the 2 sections that we have right there. Oh, to get rid of the rotten flesh. Okay, so let's make 2 melon blocks. And just make some seeds while we're here. 1 cobblestone, goodbye. Timeless Tower, this thing was called. Huh, not anymore. Now we know what the piece of track on the floor is. Just get rid of them. There we go, don't need those. So this is now actually the melon junction, but at least it's going to work. So we don't need this here. I guess we could make another melon and leave it next to the junction. But then again, it's for melon slices, not melon blocks. Which may get slightly confusing down the line, but that's fine. Another brick. I'm sort of throwing... What? Cobblestone! Okay. See, there's not like a small little block either. Go past. Thank you. And we don't need that on the floor. There we go. Why is there... Are these full blocks on the ceiling of the building? I think they are. Okay, so there we go. So that's melon. No, that's the melon junction. And now, these junctions only actually need to be filled when it's coming out of the storage room. Which we could just instantly force feed it 1 item, knowing which piece of the track it's going down. Or at least we just have a set rotation of which minecarts are going where. So it just go orange wool, pink wool, orange wool, orange wool, orange wool. So you sort of have a rotation of like 2 will go to orange, then 1 will go to pink, 2 will go to orange, 1 will go to pink. And we'll sort of feed it the same piece. But, which means now we can, with the help of a little wooden hoe, which we're going to have to create, and a bucket of water, which we have in our inventory, we can now make a melon farm above the hopper. And that should pretty much wrap us up for today, I think. And we've done a lot of theorizing today. There we go. Oh, no. See, I could also build it back here. There's a chicken up there somewhere. Wherever it is, I can't pick your egg up. Let's jump on this. So that's our point of contact, is that hopper right there. So that's where we want our melon stuff to end up. But we also want the melon in the sunlight, which means getting a light of sun to it. So, I'm trying to think how the farm works over there, is what it actually does. I don't want to have to go and look at the farm. I'm trying to think off the top of my head how it functions. There's water down the middle. How does the farm actually work? I've done this numerous times, right? And I just cannot think how that melon farm in that building is functioning right now. There's a way that the piston is pushing the block into a center point. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. No, I understand. That makes way more sense. Is what it's doing is it's pushing it onto the block on the floor, which the hopper underneath will then pick it up through. Ah, okay. Which is where the hopper minecart comes in, because it's picking up the items through the actual floor piece, not rather through it being pushed into a water stream. Okay, that's actually much easier, because it means that we can control the block we have above our actual hopper. It's a shame we have to look at a piece of dirt, though, which is fine, I guess. We need to be able to have this dirt block covered with water, which I think what we'll do is we'll put the water right here. Oh, no, we can't, because underneath that is... oh, it's a mess. Is where can we keep the water? That it'll never mess with anything else. There, I think is good. We'll keep that nice and surrounded. We'll light it with a torch from there. I mean, I think that those blocks can be filled back in underneath. Okay, so dirt has to be there. Melon grows there. Piston is behind it. Is there a skeleton nearby? There usually is one in this area. Probably the fact that I'm stood here isn't spawning anything, though. No, it's not. Okay. So, melon will grow up there. Piston will push it into the block. And then I think we're good. So, I think that's about time to wrap up this episode. We've not quite finished what we're doing here, and I just want to make a little bit more space for the next time I log in. But when I do, first thing we're doing is we're setting up this really clever trick we're going to be using to force the melons into the hoppers down here. What we do not want happening, though, is we do not want the hopper pushing the items beyond this. So our melon will grow in there. We want it to get pushed to here, but then stay on this block and not fall down. We have one way we can test this, though. And that is by pillaring up right here and throwing items onto the block. Where did that go? Ah, still full of wool. Maybe we should have taken that out first. But now I don't have enough melon. Ah, now I'll have to go and get some more melon just to finish this off. Looks like my screen just froze there for a second on my end. We're fine now, though. Let's go. Let's go and grab, like, 9 more melon. Let's just use that. Speed it up. And down we go. Let's just grab 17. We're never going to miss it for a little while anyway. If I'm desperate for it, I'm sure I'll get some more at some point. But yeah, so let's head over to our little monstrosity which is developing in this corner. We're going to put the melon in the end there. $18, and in here we have all the leftover bits, which is great, because there should be one melon in here. Yes, there is. Brilliant. There'll be one in here, because then when... Do we want that one higher, though? Because eventually we want storage on that, don't we? So we need to raise that up and put a chest between it, because then we could have chests to the ceiling. But yeah, so that's proof of concept anyway, is the fact that we could have a tilled piece of land here, which in theory when it grows, it's just going to go in this chest, which is just going to fill up this one underneath, which is just going to break the entire thing. Because it's just going to keep letting the melon out to here. But that's not what we want. We want it for only when this hopper is empty to then release another melon. Man, this thing gets way more complicated every time I think about it. So when this is empty, this is on, which would then... Can we lock this hopper from the side? I think we can. I think we can lock that one from the side by torching it from here. Which if that's on, torch is off, allows that to release, but then one reaches there. That's as soon as... The whole thing has got to be on a one tick. Because as soon as it gets back in here, that's got to lock at 1. That's got to lock at 22. And the key thing is having 1 in there. If that has more than 1, the whole thing is messed up. Because we're then going to have to pull out 1,000,000 melons out of this first chest. This first hopper, should I say. But we could link it to this. We could link it right here to this and lock that hopper right there. It's either that or we put a secondary hopper above it with chest, melon, so forth and so forth. So on and so forth. You know what? That's exactly what we're going to do. Because we have actually got like stairs and stuff over here which actually don't go anywhere as of yet. It's sort of a mirror image of the complete opposite side of the land. But if we go up here, we could have a little melon farm. Teeny little melon farm, which we could walk up to and access from this staircase right here. We'd actually have the staircase work around the one solitary melon which is farming on the floor. And yeah, that's exactly what we'll probably have to do at some point in the future. But right now my brain is hurting from thinking way too much. But thank you guys so much for watching. This has been almost 2 hours long stream. This is not like me, this. But yeah, we had a lot of fun today. We figured out a lot of stuff with our track, and we actually made progress in the world. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I guess I will see you all again in the next one, which will not be in 3 months' time. Bye-bye.